cooperation.
In
other words, there's more evil in our nature, if I can use that word. There's more evil, or there's more negativity in our nature than there is goodness.
We may or may not have more of it. The thing is that the trigger which gets us to become hostile and confrontational is an easier trigger than it is for us to remain competitive. We can be, to be cooperative. We can be cooperative with people, but then at the same time, we don't stay friends or in cooperative situations with people all the time because of conflict. If you take a look at the history of the world, there's only been a few years in which there haven't been any wars. All nations try to conquer all other nations. They're bordering nations.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not so sure I'm totally in agreement with you. Maybe I'm just more of an optimistic in my view about human nature than you are, although I can't prove it. I just think that conditions, we're talking nature, nurture. Is our nature more, as human beings, whatever planet we're on, is our nature as human beings such that we're more designed and more built to want to trust and work with each other, eat with each other, or is it because our environment causes us to act as though we need to be in conflict and dominate and overcome our fellow beings or whoever else we feel is threatening us? I think that's the key. Do we react to other people because of distrust and threat, or do we react to other people because we want to cooperate with them, be friendly, and to work together for a better world?
It's not either or, it's both. We want to cooperate, but we cooperate with those who have something to offer us. If they don't have something to offer us, then we leave them alone. If they're too weak, then we conquer.
So it's more, I think what you're alluding to then, Joe, is it's more the circumstances of the environment we live in, whether it's on Mars or on planet Earth.
That's your conclusion. I am telling you that, in my opinion, we have DNA strain that is predisposed towards triggers that will make us become confrontational. We can be cooperative with a person on Monday and try to kill them on Tuesday if there's a difference of opinion, or if we find out they've done something that we don't like. It's obvious, and it's all in front of our noses.
Well,
look, so you are leaning more to a I don't know what the word would be, a doomsday kind of thing about human nature. We're just here. We're just built. Our instinctive nature is built to be confrontational and overcome.
Not necessarily doomsday, but we are in a state now where we are headed towards doomsday. Take a look around us. Take a look at the global economy, our own particular economy. You can take a look at look up this word called democide. It is the greatest killer of human beings on the planet. Now, if I were to ask you, what is the greatest killer as a general category of humans on the planet throughout the history of mankind, what would you say?
Climate change.
Climate change.
Yeah. Climate change, things that are almost something that we can control, which we don't.
Oh, boy. Okay. So you would say mosquitoes carrying malaria, climate change, the weather changing the situations which make people die. Okay. So you believe that. All right. How about looking up democide? And democide...
What do you mean by democide? What is democide?
Democide, other people might say war, other people might say pestilence. Democide is a citizen's government killing its own citizens, not the government killing foreigners or engaging in war. It's government killing their own citizens.
So you call it genocide?
Democide. Demo, like in demonstration, plus side. demos.
All right. Well, it looks like we'll never agree, but we can agree to disagree. I just think there's more positiveness in human nature than I think that you probably believe in. I think there's more. I think circumstances create us to be competitive, violent, and so forth. If we offer all these young men, mainly in the Arab world that we call ISIS, if we offer them jobs and a better living and better circumstances, I don't think they'd be cutting people's heads off.
If we offered them jobs, if the Western world,
if we
jobs.
I don't mean like the United States. I'm just saying, by circumstance, if their own country said, okay, listen, now our economy's great. You know what? We got jobs for you, education, health care, so on. You guys got purpose and meaning in life. You can get married. You can, you have more freedom now. Okay, guys, there you go. You think you'll be cutting people's heads off? I don't think so.
A happy person, okay. What you're to me a little bit very, very limited in that. A happy person isn't going to cut people's heads off. So you might think, well, if we make people happy, no problem. But there are psychopaths that live to kill people's heads off, and they are happy. They are happy.
I agree. There are psychopaths in the world, and maybe too many of them. I agree with you. I got you on that one. I agree with you.
Okay. And the psychopaths are in control of money supplies around the world, the munitions around the world. They're the ones that control everything because power attracts the psychopath. Power does not attract the normal happy person who is satisfied with a job, a wife, a kid, the nice nuclear family, the two-car garage, or whatever the Arabs might be happy with within their own country. But when you have power situations which have incentives to attract those who want to be powerful, then the psychopaths get attracted to that particular situation. They're in power, and they're the ones that do everything. It's not the normal average person who is ruining the world, but it is the normal average person.
Joe, is there anything, in many respects I agree with you. I don't mean to be combative with you, but is there anything you think we could do in this world to make some change, to make it better?
Well, people would have to wake up to situations which are occurring. People are not waking up. They're more or less knowledgeable about what's going on, but they don't really realize the significance of what's going on. So,
I mean, specifically, is there anything specifically, do you think, that could be done to make, let's think of the U.S., never mind globally, but just the U.S., because I agree, there's a lot of mentally ill people.
Like I said, there are a lot of people. America today is full of apathetic people. We're an instant gratification type of nation. We're not the rugged individualists we were back in the 1870s and 1900s. We have too much faith in our government. We believe they wouldn't harm us, although there's plenty of evidence to the contrary. So I don't see anything right now that indicates to me that there's going to be any difference, any change to the path that we're on.
Joe, your name is Joe, right? I'm sorry, right?
Yeah,
Joe.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people that think and believe as you do, and sometimes I wonder myself if you're not right. But I have a different view about the world, and I just think there's a possibility, a great possibility, that the world can be and will be different. That aside from the psychopaths, aside from Congress and whoever's president and so forth, I think we could be facing a better world, and it may not be too long before we see it.
And what are the indications that make you believe that?
Well, the indications already are. If you think about the progress that's being made in terms of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence.
I mean, we have robots They're making
robots are going to kill the economy. And if you're talking about artificial intelligence, that's going to be the worst thing that ever happened.
You asked me a question. I'm trying to answer it.
All right.
I think in terms of let's think in terms of science, the progress that science has made, not only within the last 100 years. Think how it's been quadrupling the science of the advances that have been made, not only in communication but in medicine, in technology, and so forth. Yeah, there's been a lot of problems and so forth. We've made enormous progress. There's so many positive things. In fact, I don't know what you think about not President Obama, but Clinton. I saw him on a television program, Fareed Zakaria, on Sunday morning. He said the best book he's ever read is about abundance. I read the book about abundance, and it talks about the future, the progress that's being made, and the media somehow for other downplays all this progress that's being made, advances in science and in technology and manufacturing and so forth, that it doesn't get reported. So what happens is people like yourself, and I'm not faulting you, they see America's decaying, we're going downhill. Other countries are doing better, and yet we're strong. We're still making great advances in science. Who's doing better than we are in terms of progress advances? Tell me, who's doing better than we are?
We're about something like 35th in the world in terms of test scores for our high school students, who are about maybe 5th or 6th.
But that's reported. How come they all come over here to get educated?
Because we have the best universities, but we don't have the best universities. We don't have the best. Yeah, the best. Yeah, we have 5 or 6 really good universities, and that's about it.
Joe, I respect your opinion. I really do. I honestly do, because some days I say to myself, man, what a large world. I do respect your opinion.
Here's the thing. You're equating technological advances with mankind. You're saying because we've developed the cell phone, the typewriter, the airplane, the air conditioner, the fan, the computer, that therefore the future looks rosy and bright.
And beyond that, in terms of
technological advances are inanimate objects. They mean
no, the advances are far beyond what you're really relating to.
Technological advances.
Joe? Are you a reader?
Yeah.
Do you read? Okay. Read Clinton's recommended book. I just got through finishing. It's called Abundance.
Okay.
It's talking about the kind of advances that are made to make our future. And
I could read whatever his name is about transhumanism.
That's in Clinton.
Correct. Yeah, Bill Clinton, the guy that's been accused of murder, the guy that almost got impeached. Yeah. Here's the thing. Technological advances, if you just take a look at it on its own basis, doesn't mean a thing when it comes to human nature. All it means is that we've taken the Industrial Revolution and really advanced ourselves from there to the point where we have great technological advances.
Yeah.
So what? It's still human beings.
So we raised the standard of living in most people, not only in this country but in the world.
We've raised the standard of living, but
who has a better middle class than we do? We're never going to agree. I have to just say I appreciate our conversation. I respect your opinions. We're not going to agree on everything.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to tune out soon. But hey, I appreciate the dialogue.
Okay.
Okay.
Dr. Mark.
Yes.
Okay, I guess we had a spirited conversation.
Oh, it was a great conversation.
Yeah, we enjoyed it.
The only thing that I will add, going back to what was stated, I guess, about 30 minutes ago, when the explorers came to the New World, the Indians welcomed them with open arms, okay, and they celebrated first Thanksgiving, and then all of a sudden, man discovered manifest destiny and started pushing the Indian onto reservations and giving them less and less land. I mean, this was their country, okay?
Right.
For some reason, the explorers felt that the Indian was a savage. They didn't want to respect the fact that they had their own religion, they had their own gods,